Okay, hello guys, and welcome to my review of Doctor Who Series 12, Episode 1, Spyfall. Before I start, guys, I must apologise because I said I was going to do a preview, as I did of the new series from 2018. Unfortunately, with the football going on and stuff, I was sort of I sort of ran out of time. So today, what I've decided is I'm going to do my review of obviously Spyfall, the first episode, and then I'll preview the series finale, as I did, because obviously it's too late to preview the series, so because Spyfall aired last night, New Year's Day, on BBC One, and I missed it because it partially clashed with the football. So, but anyway, I watched it today on iPlayer, so it's really fresh in the mind. And there was a few things that made me groan, quite a few things actually, watching it. But it was a good episode. The stakes are very high. I feel that this series, Jodie's settled into the role. I feel that I sense that it's going to be an improvement over Series 11, which quite frankly was very disappointing. Now, let me just check. Right. So, just check that this video is, the sound is working and everything. Right, so. Hello Matthew Mirror. Good to see you again. Good to... Anyway, Happy New Year. Good to have you watching again. Sorry, that's what I meant. Right, okay. Right, so, anyway, let's get to it. So this episode, it has a pretty amazing cast. Lenny Henry and Stephen Fry. Stephen Fry plays C, and this episode, judging by the title, as you would expect, is a parody of James Bond and spy films. So basically, we get a montage of, so there's Russia, Australia, I think, and so there's a montage of lots of countries, and then we have this woman. She's on a plane journey, and she goes to the toilet. She doesn't actually go. She goes to the bathroom, not actually to sit on the toilet, but she goes into the bathroom, and then then she basically gets fried by these aliens, electricity. So nice, yes, very nice. Well, not of course. And then we see Yaz and her family, and obviously Yaz, how she's not got fired for basically disappearing because of travelling with the Doctor. He must be a very patient boss, so that was great. And then we see Graham. And Ryan. Right, so. And then Yaz. Yaz is the first one. Is it? Hang on. Right, let me remember. Right, sorry. Okay. Ryan is playing basketball, and he doesn't get it into the net. It's probably because of his, he suffers with dyspraxia, which was well documented in Series 11. Anyway, so Ryan's out playing basketball with his friends, and then suddenly these men with dark shades and in tuxedos, all spies. They arrive. So Ryan then gets into the car. Then we see Graham having a test with his GP. I'll say GP because doctor, it's kind of confusing. So yes, he's basically with his GP, going for tests. I'm not sure whether Graham has still got cancer, because he did say in The Woman Who Fell to Earth that he was getting treatment for it, so I'm not sure there. Or it could have just been an ordinary appointment, I don't know. But anyway, he speaks with the GP, and the GP says he's sorry to hear about his wife Grace, because in case you need a brief rewind, Grace was Graham's wife, and she died, sacrificing her life to save the Doctor in The Woman Who Fell to Earth, in Jodie Whittaker's first full episode of Series 11, and then appeared in a couple of more episodes. So yes, and then Graham, we see these guys again, and Graham then gets into the car. So that's, and then Yaz sees his men and then gets into the car. So yes, and then we see the Doctor, who seems to have stopped by Sheffield again to do work on a TARDIS, and then she's basically, politely kidnapped like the other, like her mates, Ryan, Yaz, and Graham. So yeah, the Doctor is kidnapped, and they're in a car heading towards MI6, and then the car, the driver is shot. So basically they're in a self-driving car, and the sat-nav basically was saying, was it 2 minutes to die? No. And I was like imagining like a funny remix of of that. So yeah, anyway, the oh, by the way, sorry, I should say this review does contain spoilers, so anybody who's not watched it, this is just a spoiler warning. Yeah, forgot to mention that. Anyway, eventually the sat-nav is destroyed by the Doctor, blows it up with her sonic screwdriver, and they eventually get in contact with C. Yes, very funny, because of course in the Bond films the main boss is called M, in case you don't watch Bond. I'm not a big Bond fan, but yeah, just in case. So yeah, C, there's lots of Bond references and parodies and stuff. So yes, C, played by the brilliant Stephen Fry, as only Stephen Fry could. Then they go to see C, and then C explains that that sends them on a mission to investigate Daniel Barton, played by Lenny Henry. And I was really surprised, Lenny Henry, because obviously Lenny Henry is known as a comedian and stuff, but actually, his dramatic acting in this is superb, and I really hope that he does do more dramatic acting, because he was just fantastic in this, and it was a shame that Stephen Fry only got a cameo. Anyway, so C is about to send them on a mission, but C is shot in the neck, killing him. So then the Doctor basically, they go into the TARDIS to still investigate Daniel Barton, and yes, and then the Doctor tells them of an old ally of hers called, ally of hers called, yeah, you can see where this is going, can't you? C and oh yeah, it is a heavily Bond parody, obviously. So yes, and then there's a bit of a panic because we didn't know this, but usually I can't think of many creatures who've been able to actually get through the TARDIS doors ever in Doctor Who, in both the classic series and the new series. But yet the creature... Oh right, Matthew Moore. I think Stephen Fry also wrote the original script for Fear Her. Did he? Well, I mean, I don't think... Well, that would be quite... I must admit, I'd be quite surprised. I mean, I know Stephen Fry, he's been linked with appearing in a 1920s themed episode. In fact, I think, was he going to appear in Unicorn and the Wasp? Anyway? I don't know, something like that. Anyway. But, well, yeah, that would be interesting. Anyway. Back to this episode. So, there's a rather humorous thing. The Doctor looking at a picture of a fish, and I'm not sure it's to do with this technology. I'm not sure whether it's fictional or not, but basically I thought it was a bit complicated. So anyway, Yaz and Ryan go to Vor, where Daniel Barton works, their company, and C, by the way, explains that Vor is one of the most powerful... I mean, they're a search engine, but they're one of the most powerful organisations in the world. On the planet. So, something is definitely suspicious. I mean, Google, they're certainly not that powerful. Could you imagine if Google were that powerful? So it sort of is quite terrifying about Vor. So Yaz and Ryan, they go over to Vor's headquarters and they meet Daniel Barton. And Yaz sort of assumes the alias of Sophia. Ryan's alias, I can't remember. But anyway, they interview. They have a DNA scanner, which is which is disguised as a recording, a recorder device. Oh, and by the way, sorry, I keep going back a bit. I'm just remembering new details. So, the Doctor, when they're called by C, they found that this girl has basically had her whole DNA rewritten. So she's basically not human anymore, just in the Doctor's words, a human shell. Which is quite terrifying. So anyway. So as Yaz and Ryan try to investigate Daniel Barton and Vor, the Doctor and Graham go to meet O in the Australian outback. So they meet him and then so they sorry. Anyway, right. They get back into the hut and basically O explains that he's an old ally of the Doctor, as I said. And then these aliens. First, Yaz is, well, I'm not quite sure. I think she was sort of teleported, and then I think she was teleported to this. Well, I'm not sure quite where it was. And then the Doctor sorry, not the Doctor. So anyway, Yaz is teleported where she was. Then she's teleported back to where the Doctor and Graham was. It was quite a bit all over the place, this, as you could imagine. So yes. Yes, and then so with Yaz, with Graham and Ryan all with her, they then go to they basically see that Barton is going on a plane. No, actually, right. So, sorry. Right. Okay. Right, I'm ready to go again. Yes, sorry, slipping up a bit here. Should have made notes. But anyway, so they basically investigate Barton at his birthday party, which Yaz and Ryan were invited to. And then Barton, the Doctor tries to confront him. He's very angry, tells her to stay away from him. But of course, the Doctor doesn't like doing what she's told, does she? So they basically decide to follow him and manage to get onto his private jet. Who Sasha Darwin, Sasha Darwin or Dawan, anyway. So because he's a spy, the Doctor becomes suspicious about when he says he's not a very good sprinter, which, as you could imagine, for a spy, you'd have to be quite good at sprinting. Well, actually, that wasn't just the thing, because the Doctor read in the files that the O was world sprinter champion or something like that. Anyway, I nearly gave it away then. So then, this is where the big twist happens. Now, basically, then reveals himself, because the Doctor becomes very suspicious, as I said, and she's got every right to be suspicious, because O is not who he says he is. O is the Master. Yes, the Master is back. We've not seen the Master, of course, since the Doctor Falls, when John Sim and Michelle Gomez were in it as Missy and the Master, and Peter Capaldi, that was one of his last stories as the Doctor, with the Cybermen and Bill and Doyle. So we've not seen the Master since then. And yes, basically, so the Master is back. Now, one of the questions is this the Master, is this an incarnation, an earlier incarnation, like before Roger Delgado? Because in the classic series, Roger Delgado's Master, even though he was the first on screen to be the Master, he's not the first incarnation. Delgado was actually the 12th incarnation? Yes. And then when we see him in The Deadly Assassin, yes, played by Peter Pratt, he's basically decaying and burnt to crisp because he's ran out of regenerations and he's trying. So yes, is Sasha Darwan's incarnation an earlier Master, earlier than Delgado, or between Sim and Gomez? Because in the Doctor Falls, there's a line that John Sim's Master says to Michelle Gomez's Missy, and he says to Missy, so you're the next one then? And she says, well, my mind is a bit hazy about the whole regeneration thing. And given that we didn't see Sim and Gomez regenerate into each other at the end of the Doctor Falls, it could imply there's definitely room for Sacha Dhawan to be an incarnation sandwiched in between Johnson and Michelle Gomez. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time. I mean, John Hurt was sandwiched between Paul McGann and Christopher Eccleston, wasn't he, as the Doctor? So it wouldn't be the first time. So yes, so the Master reveals himself, and of course he's being in control of Daniel Barton and the aliens that they've seen the whole time. Daniel Barton mysteriously disappears. He's not dead because he's in the Next Time trailer. So yes, and all that's in his place is a bomb. The Doctor tries to stop the bomb, but of course the Master is smart, and because he knows the Doctor, he makes it sonic proof. So that kind of is a very awkward situation for the Doctor. So basically, she and her friends are left on this plane which is exploding, but then the Doctor is teleported to the same place where Yaz was, and Yaz, Ryan and Graham are all stuck on the exploding plane, left to die, and the Master teleports as well. So, well, and yeah, that's basically what Spyfall was. Now that I gave you the story, let me hang on, what? 2 directors? Oh, sorry, it's because it's 2-part. Yeah, right, yeah, I get that. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you about the things that made me groan. Obviously this might be a minor thing, but that font that they kept using, oh my god, why? Who is in charge of the fonts and typefaces? Because that's not, that wouldn't even be good for a excuse me, that wouldn't even be good for a movie. So that did make me groan. And look, one of the things that also did annoy me about Series 11, I get that the companions are like the Doctor's family, I get that, and I'm okay, but stop using fam. Oh, that's so annoying. That drives me up the wall. The Doctor saying fam. It's very cringy, and it's very annoying in my opinion, and lots of fans don't like the whole fam thing, and really I hope that Chibnall does scrap that soon, because it's... Oh, right, Matthew Moore. If I may ask, what do you think of the current rendition of the theme song? I like it. I like Sega Nakanola's theme. Arrangement of the theme. I think it's great with the big bassy drums, although I wouldn't like to have it full blast on a bass speaker, because excuse me, I wouldn't like it on full blast on a bass speaker, because it would go through you. But I do like this theme very much. And one thing that also bothers me, why do they have the series producer? I get that Nikki Wilson is a series producer, but why do they have her credits on the opening titles? It should just be the cast. What I would suggest doing is have Spyfall, have the episode title by Chris Chibnall, right? Have that in the vortex, and then have series producer Nikki Wilson in the black bit, in the black background afterwards. That way you wouldn't. That way you wouldn't. Sorry, there. That way you'd get all the action, and you would still get your your credit. So and director and producer. Another thing that annoys me, why the black bars? They don't do anything. Look, TV is broadcasting widescreen now. Why the need to black bars? Doctor Who is not meant to be cinematic. Okay, go for the cinematic colour grading, I get that. But why the black bars? It just cuts off edges of the screen. Oh. So, yes, that's another thing that annoyed me. And also, what annoyed me... Look, well, one of the things that I have to praise the team is it didn't leak out that the Master was coming back. That was very, very good that they managed to keep that secret, and that was a great twist. It really was. Now, obviously, I knew that the Master was back, but only because I watched the review. Read the reviews after the episode had aired. But prior to that, I mean, if you think about the last time the Master came back, as in John Sim, he was leaked with the Sun. But they managed to keep that hidden, and well done. I mean, even Sash Dhawan, he wasn't even announced, not even as O. So, really, I've got to praise the team there for even keeping him secret, because, whoa, that's just, well, I'm stunned in this day and age, you know, since you know, in the age of social media and stuff. But wow, all newspapers. But wow, okay, well done, Chibnall, and that was a great twist. Okay, so Sash Dhawan, he seems, obviously we've only seen him a little bit as the Master, but from what he seems, well, he's got the insanity that Sim had, obviously without the drum beat. So, but yes, he's certainly got the insanity that John Sim had, you know, with him as the Master, and his laugh, and he was just so. He seems like it's going to be a fun but also very insane version of the Master. Maybe even insane than John Sim's incarnation. But we'll have to wait and see. Also, okay, I get Spy Master. Right, yes. But I think if I was the director, I would have told Sasha to say, right, I did say it to Spy Master, and then said, what I should say is Spy Master, like that, yeah. Like oh, sorry, I'm losing it today, and losing my voice, but yeah, Spy Master, and then call me the Master, like that or something. Not Master. I think it is the Master, because every Doctor has said it as Master, and so has every Master who said Master. So yeah. So but anyway, yeah. Apart from that, it seems like it is a very good episode. So good to see that. Definitely good to see that. Well, roll on the next episode, because hopefully, I'm really hoping that Series 12 is going to be a great series. Because we've got lots of things to look forward to. The Cybermen and the Jadoon are back later in the series, so that'll be really interesting. And one line that's really interesting, the Master's last line is, one more thing before you die. Everything you think you know was a lie. That's that. Oh, and I was like, oh, very mysterious, as only the Master could be, because the Master can be quite definitely very good with that. So yes, right. So yes, right. So yes, music. Shogun Akinola came back, and well, his music was very inspired by John Barry's classic Bond themes, especially at the party. I mean, it's not surprising because it's not surprising given that this is it is a parody of Bond, really. So yeah. So yeah. But yes, Shogun Akinola's music was good as always. And the aliens were really terrifying, and sorry, right. I'm not riveted, I don't think. But yeah, the aliens were really terrifying, and I can't wait to see what the Master, and whether we'll get some answers, whether the Master will reveal how he basically survived, or whether this is an early Master before Missy, before Sin, before... Well, yeah, you get the gist. Anyway, another thing to add is the Master has brought back one of his old weapons, the Tissue Compression Eliminator, or TCE for short. Now, if you haven't seen the classic series, the Tissue Compression Eliminator, oh my, that's a mouthful. That's what the Master used in the classic series. So Roger Delgado, Peter Pratt, Jeffrey Beavers and Anthony Ainley all used that device, and it basically can, does what it says on the tin. Basically fry you to a crisp, basically. So yeah, good to see the TCE out again, and I think that's a more interesting device than the laser screwdriver, really. But yeah, it's and in fact, the fact that he is using the tissue compression eliminator makes me think he is a Master that is between. Oh, I mean, well, probably. I'd imagine he would be, well, maybe after, maybe even between Alex McQueen, Big Finish's Master, who appears in the Big Finish audios. So, oh, excuse me. So yeah, but it's really interesting, and Sacha Dhawan, can't wait to see more of him as the Master. And Lenny Henry, like I said, was fantastic, and so was Stephen Fry. It was such a shame it was maybe scored C because he just had a cameo. Well, I'm joking, but yeah, Stephen Fry was, as ever, he's just brilliant, isn't he? And you know, see, it's such a shame that it was only for a little while, because just absolutely sorry, absolutely great as seeing, yeah, it's a shame, but like I said, he and Lenny Henry, Sacha Dhawan, all the guest stars were pretty much good, so good performances all round. I would like, at the end of the series, I'm not a fan of Bradley Walsh, so I do hope Graham and Ryan leave and it's just the Doctor and Yaz, because I do think 3 companions, it's a risk, because you basically have to squeeze for them to squeeze all that time for them to do something, meanwhile to sort of squeeze and to have them all have equal screen time. It's very hard. I understand the classic series, obviously, with Ian, Barbara, and Susan, and then Adric, Nyssa, and Tegan. I understand that, but yeah, I think that, or at least I think that really two companion, the Doctor and one companion, I think that should be the way to go, because it means you won't have to squeeze them, and I think if you have an ensemble cast, why not have that with guest stars, really? So, but yeah, that's just my view, and let me know what you think, guys. Matthew Moore says, I hope this season doesn't bring back the Daleks. Well, yeah, it's a tricky one, Matt, because look, like everyone, I love the Daleks, but they're predictable. That's the thing. They want to take over the Earth. They want to exterminate everything that's Dalek. What new things could you do with the Daleks? I mean, you could have the first Daleks versus the new Daleks, maybe. I mean, well, you could, but even that, well, that's just my idea anyway. But yeah, the Dalek, even though it was good to see the Dalek in Resolution, yeah, it's hard to find new things for the Daleks to do to actually make them threatening, because I must admit, I've never been scared of the Daleks. No, in fact, I find the Vesper form from the Unicorn and the Wasp way more terrifying. Well, I don't like insects, so that's definitely much more terrifying than the Daleks. The Cybermen, I've never found them terrifying. Not many enemies, actually, that I have found terrifying at all. So yeah, it's always hard, and when you've had an enemy that, you know, has appeared for pretty much every Doctor, you know, in pretty much every series, it's very hard to find new things to do with the Daleks. So I'm torn. I would like them to return, but the other side of me says no. The Daleks have maybe even had their day. Maybe the Daleks should not come back, because unless you can make the Daleks really threatening and really fresh, then don't bring them back. Don't bring them back just for the sake of it. And look, we've got the Cybermen back, okay? Why? What? It's going to be the same, isn't it? It's going to be, you become like us. You need an upgrade. We'll turn everyone into us. Basically, it's the same thing with the Cybermen. What can you do that's new with them? Not much, I wouldn't have thought. But again, I'm happy to be proved wrong. And the Jadoon, well, again, I struggle because the Jadoon, right? If they're working alongside the Doctor, you know, as part of the Shadow Proclamation, that'd be good. Because the Jadoon's enemies are really weak. So, yeah, please don't. I'm hoping that the Jadoon won't be the enemy in that episode. But it is good to see them back. But again, what could you? What can you do with the Jadoon? They're just quite a weak enemy, really. And I don't think they should have. I don't think they really need to come back as such, really. Apart from if you have in the Shadow Proclamation involved, then yes, bring them back. But as an enemy, they're a really weak villain. I know they came back in the Sarah Jane Adventures, but at the end of the day, they're the space police. I mean, So, yeah. Well, that's just my view. Anyway, guys, so that's my review of Spyfall Part 1. Next episode is Spyfall Part 2. Yes, and this is the first episode to use the same title since the end of time, which is ironically the last episode that featured the Master. So let me just go on to let me just go on to the Doctor website so we can take a preview of the synopsis for next week's episode. So let's go on to the BBC website. Right, okay. So, synopsis for Spyfall Part 2, guys. Here we go. In Part 2 of this epic spy thriller, a terrifying plan to destroy humanity is about to reach fruition. I think. Can the Doctor and her friends escape multiple traps and defeat a deadly alliance? And, well, seems interesting, and yeah, I can't wait to see where the story will go. And then we've got Orphan 55. Wow, this isn't interesting. The Doctor and her friends discover that the luxury resort where they are holidaying is hiding a number of deadly secrets. What are the ferocious monsters attacking Tranquility Spa? Oh god, I don't like the sound of this already. And we've got In-Betweener star James Buckley, who's been announced. I believe Anjali Mahindra, who previously played Rani Chandra in the Sarah Jane Adventures, she's in this. And actress Laura Fraser. So they're the guest stars. And it's written by Ed Heim, who wrote It Takes You Away. Great. So it's written by the guy who wrote that dreadful episode, in my opinion, the worst episode I ever saw. Oh, great. Well, that doesn't sound great. And given that it's directed by him, that makes it sound even worse. But I look forward to Spyfall Part 2, and it's on Sunday at 7 o'clock on BBC One. Where will the story continue from here? And will we get more answers of the Master? We shall see. Okay, guys, thank you for joining me. If you want to, like, share, comment and subscribe to the Lightning Boring YouTube channel. Sorry, excuse me. And I'll see you for the next review of Spyfall Part 2. So, if you want to, like, share, comment and subscribe to the Lightning Boring YouTube channel. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.